Hey everybody, my name is Nathan Elsner. I am a field engineer here at the Creighton University project. Today I wanted to run you through a lean concept using our exterior roadblock tracker. We used for this is Bluebeam Review. We had set up a studio project. You can access this by opening up Bluebeam Review, looking on the left hand side of your toolbar. At the kind of middle of the screen, at the bottom of that bar, you'll have this icon that looks like a warehouse. Hover over that, it'll say Studio. If you click on that, it'll give you this pop-up menu. This icon here, it will be Projects. The one next to it will be Sessions. For this, we want to go ahead and make sure that we're using Projects. Click on Project, click on the Add icon, which will create a new project for you. Once that project is created, you can go ahead and import your elevation drawings. As you can see down here, we have imported east, north, south, and west elevations. We also imported a site overview plan for in the beginning when we were going over staging of materials. That was a good tool to use when sitting down with our trade partners to figure out where their materials will be staged, since we are working on a relatively small site. What I'll do here is kind of show you what we did next after we got these elevations imported into our project. What we'll do is we sat down with our team here, figured out what statuses we want to have available to set for each of our systems that we'll be installing for our exteriors. So we have 3 different systems that we're installing on the exteriors of this project. We have metal panels, we have glazing, and we have stone wall. For all of these, we sat down, came through kind of a timeline and a inspection / activity status of what will be happening. Kind of mulled that over with our team, figured out what was absolutely necessary to have on there, and then took that list, gave it over to our ICT team, who then implemented it into our Roadblock Tracker. What they went ahead and did after that is they went through and actually put and identified each panel as its own entity. So when going through, you can go ahead and click on any one of these panels. We let them know that, the certain ones are going to be glazing, certain ones are going to be metal panels, certain ones are going to be stone. Doesn't matter what it is, because you can access any status setting for any panel. So you can go ahead and click on a panel, right click on that panel, go to set status. You'll be able to see that this is going to be a metal panel. I can set that the framing is complete. That's already been completed, and we had the City of Phoenix out to do a structural inspection on our screws. And so now I can go ahead and click off on that. It already is clicked off, and you can see the check mark next to that. ICT also provided us with a legend to do a quick overview of what colors might notate what status. This can be convoluting to anybody that has not used a roadblock tracker before, since we have colors that are multiple shades. What I like to do is what I just demonstrated. Click on any panel that you're curious about what the status is. Hover over set status. I know that this is a metal panel, so I'll go over to metal panels and see that metal panels have been installed because there's a check mark next to that. The great thing about this as well is trade partners like to install a lot of systems in one day, which hopefully they do. So what we can do here is, I know when Kovac was out, they installed all these panels in one day. So I can just simply click on one, hold the shift key down, and then go ahead and select as many panels as they installed. Maybe they skipped one for whatever reason. Maybe they didn't. Click on those, right click, set status, exterior glazing, glazing curtain wall installed. Obviously I've gone through all the statuses before this, but since I've already set this, it is glazing and curtain walls installed. I'll click that. All those panels will be set to that status. That's a great tool to use to just have a quick overview of what's happening on your site. This is great to share with anybody that might not be able to make it out to your site. So you can give them a real-time view of what's been installed, what's been inspected, helps keep you as a field engineer on track with inspections. Make sure that you're scheduling inspections in a according manner to what's being installed. So I know that all of our exterior framing is up and done. I know to call our city inspector out to check on our structural screw inspection on these exterior framings. For our identifying roadblocks, what we use are these call-out bubbles, and then we have a roadblock keynote at the bottom. We have created these boxes here because we like to have a running log of everything that has happened in roadblocks instead of having to dig through your markups to find when you might have deleted an old roadblock. In case that question gets brought back up again, we decided to just keep a running log. This markups tool is very useful because if you have multiple people that are going to be accessing and annotating your drawings and you're on your roadblock tracker, you'll be able to see who the author was that made the annotation, what date and time that was done at, what statuses might have been changed, and what colors were corresponding with those changes. So that's a great tool. We just like to keep a running history, running log of all the roadblocks that have happened per elevation. You can also call out general notes on these, which is great for just remembering as you sequence up through the building, things that might not be happening for a while. Just make a quick note of it, and then you can know that it's always there until that is completed. As you can see here, we just like to call out that when these windows are going in, make sure that we have protection on the outside of them, so when the stone gets installed, there's no risk of those glazing systems being damaged. Back to using the roadblock callouts, we just use a simple bubble system with a 3-color status. Red will be the color of a roadblock that has not been brought up to the trade partners yet, that might have been identified at the end of a day. So we'll notate it as a red roadblock. And then that way when we meet with our trade partners, we know to talk about that one because they have not been informed about it. Once we talk about it and they confirm that they have their team working on clearing that roadblock out of the way, then we can go ahead and change that color to orange, standing for that it is in progress, but it has not been completed yet. Once they let us know that they have completed what that roadblock might have been, we could go out and field verify to make sure that it was done correctly, done to our expectations. Come back in and update our roadblock tracker to read green, stating that that roadblock has been completed and is no longer a roadblock. This is also very beneficial when we're going through these roadblock trackers with our trade partners, so that way, yes, it can get convoluting with having a number of different roadblocks sitting up here, but now you know your eye goes straight to the red ones because those haven't been addressed yet. And then you can just go over those. A lot of times they will be the ones that are obviously the most recently ones put on, but sometimes there's roadblocks that can't be addressed immediately and other roadblocks occur after those ones and in between the time of the previous one being corrected. So I hope this was beneficial. I hope this was helpful. This was the lean concepts on using an exterior roadblock tracker and how this can help keep your team on pace, on schedule, on track, and help you field engineers to clear out roadblocks before they halt the schedule in any way, shape, or form. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Nathan Elsner. I am the field engineer on the Creighton University project. I'd love to be helped. Thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful.